Hi guys, it's good to see you. You know what? Hold on 1 second. Nice, better. Ain't it? Ain't it? He's like, stop it, Mom, you're embarrassing me. Hello everybody. I welcome you to my first ever video that is officially a content shift. And today's topic is going to be all about the pros and cons to owning a lovebird. And if you didn't know what a lovebird was, this is my lovebird Toast, and I've had him since June. He's a real cutie. So where did they come from? Lovebirds hail from Africa, which could explain their incredibly bright colors and their affinity for liking interesting fruits and vegetables. However, not many people actually know how to take care of a bird, let alone a lovebird, although they're often touted as beginner birds. Now, of course, I'm not going to gatekeep who can and can't get a lovebird as their first pet, but I will say that you should know that every animal that you bring into your home has pros and cons. My little guy has been with me since June, and he has been a roller coaster. And although I love him a lot, it's important to note to new pet owners just what you're getting set up for. So without further ado, let's talk about the pros first. If you're looking for a highly intense bird that is incredibly clever, then lovebirds are definitely a good fit for you because their intelligence allows them to never cease to surprise you, which Toast has certainly done for me. Sorry guys, had to do a room change because of the gardening noises that were outside. I have no idea. But back to your regularly scheduled programming. So our next pro kind of lines up to, well, the intelligence thing. And that's that they are incredibly easy to train. Now this means that, well, it's easier to make them do what you want, get on your finger, have head rubs. However, every single bird is different. My bird Toast does not like to be touched on his head, and he will bite. So it's important to note that not every bird is like this, but a lot of them allow you to do quite a bit of training. Our third pro is that there's a lot of different types of lovebirds to choose from. My little guy is a Fisker lovebird, which means that he basically has a cute little orange head and a little yellow streak and then a green body. However, you can have many different types of birds that still fall under the lovebird category. However, they all look different, so you can have a more unique experience with their appearance, which I personally think is really fun when it comes to finding the right pet aesthetically, but not necessarily their personality. And finally, these little guys are what I like to call attention whore birds. They love attention, and they are definitely a people's bird. They enjoy your company, they enjoy whenever you're around, but even if you get them a mate, they're very social to their partner, and often people buy lovebirds in pairs, which is kind of why people call a couple lovebirds. So now that I've named a couple of very cute and fun little pros to their personality and their appearance, it's now to turn to the con side of why maybe a lovebird wouldn't be a good fit for you. Con 1, they are incredibly noisy. These little guys, despite their size, are nothing like budgies with noise level. Remember that when you're adopting a bird, you have to understand that any animal like that is going to make noise, and that includes lovebirds. So if you're okay with the noise and your neighbors are too, go right ahead, but I'm warning you beforehand. Con number 2, their beaks are sharp. Now, remember when I told you that they are incredibly intelligent? A bird also knows when you're tricking them. And on top of that, they also know that when you're wiggling your finger in their face, they're gonna bite it. They're gonna know to bite it. And let me tell you, a lovebird's bite is incredibly painful. So remember that those beaks don't have a cap on them at any point in time. So have compassion and understand that while you're training your bird, you may have a few accidents here and there. Remember when I told you on the pro side that they were incredibly affectionate? Well, as a con, this is a double-edged sword. If you're the type of person that is never home or constantly busy, a lovebird might not be the best fit for you. And the reasoning for that is that lovebirds get lonely. They also can be depressed, just like a human. So if you're constantly leaving them alone, they might quickly forget that they're loved, which is quite sad, but if you are constantly busy, don't own this bird. Now, the final con is a bunch of miscellaneous things kind of packed together, and that's really that they're kind of hard to find and they're expensive. My bird, which I won't mention the exact price, was definitely more expensive than a parakeet. They also aren't able to be found in most pet stores because pet stores don't consider them beginner birds either. I had to purchase mine from a breeder in a different state, which meant that he had to be shipped out to me, which I was very wary of. It took me months of studying and making sure that the breeder was both affectionate towards their animals and willing to elaborate with me on what exactly was going to happen from point A to point B. Remember that birds are definitely a bigger, way bigger commitment than, say, a dog or a cat, because there's more to them than what you realize, and if you aren't careful, you can end up neglecting them, which isn't really a good thing. So remember, when you're purchasing a lovebird, to explore your options and either find an adoption or a breeder that is reliable. So with that, we've reached the end of our video. Basically, to sum everything up, remember that every single animal that you bring in your home is a labor of love. Not necessarily that this animal is going to be hard for you, but that every single pet that you bring in is going to have both positives and negatives. And that's okay. But if you're not exactly ready to take on what a lovebird's care level will be, then don't adopt one. These guys end up in shelters all of the time, and that's what I was saying, if you wanted to adopt, they're a good option. But some people can't handle it, which is why they end up there. So remember to just study. Watch lots of videos like this, research, read articles about lovebirds. In fact, spend about a month just doing that before you finally decide to adopt one. And with all that said, I hope you guys enjoyed my first fully talking video. And if you did, like and subscribe. I could definitely use you guys on the team. And without further ado, I will see you guys in the next video. I love you. Bye-bye.